because I know it's early on a Friday morning, and just letting everybody know that we are going to be recording this event and sharing it on our website. So just letting everybody know that that will be happening. So thank you. I can't tell you how excited I am, and the whole team is so excited. Today is a celebration of so much passion, so much hard work, so much dedication, people sharing their hearts, their souls. This is a celebration of all of the authors that sent their own personal work through to us. And I'm so excited to be hearing from so many of them today, both live and both live and on video as well. So we're going to have the opportunity to hear from the authors. We're going to hear from the leads of the project who have put so much work into this over the last little while, and it really shows that a small nib of an idea can turn into something so beautiful. And I can't wait to be sharing this compilation with you all at a later. We are lucky enough this morning to have the incredible Martelina Lopez. Hopefully I have done this slowly enough, Martelina, but I do need to say this project would not have happened without the leadership of the amazing ASG of OHR and the chair of the UN System Workplace Mental Health and Wellbeing Implementation Board. Her passion really has an impact on all of us and gives us the opportunity to try new ideas and to really showcase the work and the importance around mental health and wellbeing. So without further ado, I would like to turn to you, Martelina, for some opening remarks.
Thank you, Therese, and thank you, everyone, and hello, wherever you are be. It is a pleasure to greet all of you today. Salut, hola, ni hao, heish. A very hard year is behind us, and this one seems more of the same. Let us not lose ourselves in the chaos. Mental health matters, we all proclaim. As the UN works hard to make a positive impact, mental health is more important than ever before. The strategy calls upon each one of us to act, to take good care of ourselves better and more. This poetry book joins many hearts of colleagues spread across the globe, pouring feelings into words of art dressed in a UN blue poetry robe. Sauti book joins many voices, cries and longings, sighs and caring. Today with you, my heart rejoices in the beauty of your sharing. It takes courage to open a heart and share our deepest feeling. Poetry is a safe house for all our parts. May you find in it comfort and healing. Poetry makes no distinction as to race, sex, language, or religion. Poetry unites in acres and dreams, shouts in silence and whispered screams. In these trying times for humanity, together let's build a healthy workplace, proud of what we do and of our unity as our work continues space. Take good care, keep safe, and thank you most sincerely. Gracias, Zizi, shukran, spasibo, merci. And a big thank you to Daniela Milik, who prepared this poem just for today. Over to you, Teresa.
Thank you so much, Martelina. That was beautiful, and I'm getting messages of people who already have tears in their eyes this early in the event. So thank you to you, Martelina, for your leadership. Thank you to Daniela for your amazing words. And this may be the first time talking points have ever been written as in the form of a poem. So this is a first for the UN you're all experiencing this morning. I would now like to turn to the two people who this wouldn't have happened without them. So Daniela Milic, who is with ICSC and also does a lot of work with the mental health team. She has an amazing amount of passion. She has an amazing mind, and I really feel like I've gotten to know her more through watching her words come out in poetry. Secondly, Jack Davies, who's otherwise known as one of our young superstars, which is one of the interns on our team. And Jack came on board, I think it was one of his first ideas when we were talking about what would we do for World Mental Health Month. And it's been phenomenal to watch him step into the UN, have an idea and really make it come to fruition. So I thank you both and hand over to you.
Thank you very much, Therese, and thank you very much, Martelina. I mean, it's one thing to write the words, but to actually hear them read out, I talk about tears in my eyes as well. But dear colleagues, it really gives me a great joy to see us gathered here to honor really a poetic expression of what I love to call our common humanity. Poetry has been used throughout the centuries in many different cultures and languages as a medium for expressing some of our most beautiful feelings, but also some of our troubles, longings, and sufferings. So writing and reading poetry have highly therapeutic effects on the mind, and I certainly can attest to that. So last October, as part of the 2020 World Mental Health Month, at the UN, we launched this poetry series really as asking colleagues throughout the UN system to share with us their poems. And we said basically the guidelines were like one line, any language, any style, any form, any topic. But we wanted to send this message out that we are here to listen, whatever you want to share with us. And the aim was to raise awareness about mental health, to convey the message that it's okay not to feel okay all the time, and that we should embrace all of our internal experiences with compassion. And acceptance is path to healing. Sometimes that path has ups and downs, but that too is okay. Poetry not only lends language to the topic of mental health, but it also gives us a gateway to heal from suffering. So reading and writing poetry is often a mindful and meditative experience, as many of you on this call know. It can be also a way of connecting with others. So thank you all for being here. And also for accessing what may otherwise be left unsaid. In the words of the former UNESCO Director General Irina Bokova, poetry is a window into a breathtaking diversity of humanity. So speaking of diversity of humanity, we received 53 poems from 21 countries in 7 languages: English, French, Chinese, Farsi, Italian, Hindi, and Arabic. How's that for diversity? Submissions came from all corners of the world. I mean, from Abyei to Banjul, Beirut, Damascus, Entebbe, Khulna, London, New Delhi, New York, Nairobi, Vienna, just to name a few. And also colleagues from different agencies, from UN, from IAEA, UNICEF, UNFPA, IMO, among others. So in addition to championing mental health and well-being, which is what we set out to do, this initiative really provides us an opportunity to celebrate our cultural diversity and our multilingualism. We have compiled the poems in the publications. We named it Sauti, which means voices in Swahili, with the aim to promote the healing power of poetry and to connect with one another through this shared medium. It is very important not to feel alone or lonely, even if we need some time alone, time to time, to come to terms with what is happening with the world around us, as we find ways to cope and to heal. And as you know, with a book, we're never alone.
These poems offer unique insights into the minds, emotions, and souls of our colleagues dispersed throughout the world, united by experiences of love and loss, joy and pain, hope and despair. An old adage holds that joy shared is doubled and grief shared is halved. We hope that this book will take you on a journey inward and outward and help you find solace, restore hope, and admire the power of human resilience and perseverance. As you browse through these pages, we hope that you feel connected to a greater sense of being and community, which is so needed in the tumult of our time. We are grateful you have this book in your hands, or soon on your screen, in these challenging times. You are holding a whole new world of thoughts and feelings, and reading it will make this world yours. A world in which you are not alone, invisible or unheard. Like the United Nations itself, poetry invites us to live among each other without borders, where each one of us can find a home in which each brick has a story and contributes to our shared humanity. Mental health matters, and together we can change what is possible and necessary. And that's an excerpt from the foreword of the book. And so now we're going to move on to the reading portion of the event. We're going to hear from 8 different authors of the book. They're from all around the globe right now, so we thank everyone from different time zones for meeting with us today. And our first reader is going to be Ume Halema.
Hi everyone, this is Umme Halima. I'm from UNICEF Khulna Field Office, Bangladesh. So good evening to everyone, and I'm so glad to be part of this event. So the message that I wanted to share everyone through my poem is that we are passing a very difficult time across the world. In this difficult time, we lost many loved ones. But the only thing that can heal our soul and mind is to show our love and care to everyone around us. So here I begin my poem. My poem is for a reimagining world. Let your wish grow, let your love show, let your dream rise for a reimagining world that we want us all. The world might be changed, your thought might be rethinking, your life might be changed, your dreams might be redreamed. You might be writing a new song, a new script for the opera, for the world that you want it all. The world, it's your world. The world, it's my world. It's the world for our children. Let's take a break. Let's check in back. Have you seen the world that we reimagined? A world for everyone, to the richest, to the poorest, to the blacks, to the white, an equal world for everyone. Let us dream again. Let our dream rise and thrive. And so, let your love, warmth, and wish grow and rise. Let's take care of our soul and heart. Let's take care of our loved ones for a reimagining world. Together, everyone from every corner of the world, let's work together for a better world, for a better life, for our children, for a reimagining world. Thank you very much.
That was very beautiful. Thank you, Ulme. Thank you very much. The next speaker, it gives me great pleasure to call Fiona Jane Walker. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Daniela, and thank you everybody for allowing me to be part of this wonderful event. So my name is Fiona Walker and I work at the International Trade Center in Geneva in Switzerland. And I will just simply read my poem. It's called Solitude. My heart is so lonely. My eyes just stare. at a landscape of wasteland and an ocean of despair. Encaged and imprisoned, ironically through choice, I scream at full volume at the top of my voice. The silence is deafening. Where can I go? Drowning in wretchedness, sorrow, and woe. My heart is so lonely. My eyes just stare at a future of darkness in the depths of despair. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So powerful. And now we're going to hear from Dr. Franklin Sedzam-Wheatley.
Thank you. Good afternoon to all. I am Dr. Franklin Sedzam-Wheatley. I was an epidemiologist with OCHA, that's back then, and presently I'm with Médecins Sans Frontières in Congo, there at Kinshasa. The lesson of the poem I'm going to be reading is that in our communities today, mental illnesses have no prejudice, partiality, boundaries, and borders. Mental illnesses doesn't care how motivated, tough, or strong you are. It doesn't care about your age, gender, religion, cultural background, race, etc. It can still strike you, and it is very okay to seek help. I read my poem, and it is titled, The Undersung Health Issue, Mental Illness. Our spirits are troubled. Seems like we are in the dark, pinned down, and our brains flooded. A person with great fulfillment dreamt all, had all, lost all. Everything in the person crying out for aid. Take a trip down memory lane growing up as a youngster. The community telling us, never give up, always be strong. Now we are down on life's luck. A person going on to 40 years, afraid to be chronicled as a fool at 40, with no navigation to weather the storm. Off track, bizarre, unusual. Now we are losing our precious sleep. Intense fear of the unknown. Anxious because we realize the more we think we know, the more we realize we don't know at all. No more appetite to eat. Our once beautiful health, now ugly, embarrassing, and failing us. Anger, anxiety, bipolar personality disorder, depression, hoarding, loneliness, panic attacks, psychosis, schizophrenia, suicidal feelings, self-harm, trauma. These are very real. My 4-1 therefore is to humanity. Let's give a voice to the voiceless, including ourselves, with the courage to speak up and rise. Get counseling, embrace psychotherapy, and be conscious that your well-being cares and values you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Franklin, and thank you for the poetry and also for the amazing epidemiological work you do at the most important times, I feel, in history. So thank you very, very much for sharing. And the next, it's like, wow, I want to take some of this in, but let's keep going. The next person we would like to invite is Gloria Momo. Gloria, are you with us? Over to you.
Yes, good afternoon, colleagues. I'm Gloria Momo from UNICEF in Banjul, in the Gambia, in West Africa. And the title of my poem is Morning Pills. We've had a very challenging 18 months going to 2 years now, but we need to forge stronger together. And this is the morning pills I take every morning to get me started. I heard the birds tweeting at my window. So it's another morning. These mornings are becoming shorter. I thought to myself, how can I make the night longer than the day? I have suddenly begun to dread the daytime. As I muse to myself, I get jilted from my thoughts by my alarm clock, sending another wave of anxiety through my mind. I jumped out of bed, but lost my footing, and to the floor I fell. Living alone by myself, there was no one to call. I staggered to my feet, my hands made way to my eyes, only to touch my reading glasses. Goodness me! The last I remembered, I was reviewing the SITREP that was due for submission the following morning. Why did I fall asleep? Why? I fell asleep because it was the only natural thing for me to do, to sleep. Mental health distress. Are you trying to have a dress rehearsal on me? Yes, I am, it replied. Then I said, what right do you have over me? It replied, I was having a conversation with my mental health. It all started when you stopped having adequate nutrition, when you worried about everything and everybody, when you had analysis until paralysis sets in. I see, I remembered, and I responded, now I will not let you go ever. Mental health distress has held me captive. I felt my mind and my body having a tug of war, with my spirit being an umpire, taking a deep breath to free my body. I set my positive conventions to send energy to my mind and spirit. I felt alive again. My confessions were my morning pills to get me on my feet every morning. I had to win this war in my mind. And yes, I did with my morning pills of positive confessions. Thank you.
So wonderful. Thank you so much. We'll move on to the next reader, which is Christian Mazei. Thank you.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Christian Mazzei, and I work for the Resident Coordinator Office in Central African Republic. This is a poem that I wrote some time ago, but I think it's still very relevant today. I wrote it when I was a United Nations volunteer back in time in Haiti, and it was my first assignment. I would like to dedicate it to all the women and men that today are volunteers, and they are still putting their life at the service of others, especially during these challenging times. The original poem is in Italian, but I will read it for you in English for you to appreciate the meaning. And the title is Proud to be a Volunteer. In my mind, the face of a child, its eyes lost to the horizon, a life without future. A woman with no way of feeding a child that she holds close to her, but without hope. The hands of a man asking for bread and the pain of hunger that gives no rest. I feel the misery, the suffering, and the cry for help, which perturbs my nights and give me no peace. Peace The world still needs peace. I feel the indifference of people who have abandoned these people, the desolation of this land that my steps now walk on. How can one still remain passive before this outcry? How can one close his eyes before so much pain? I have chosen. I have chosen not to ignore. I have chosen to be a volunteer, to put my life to the service of others, to leave my own land, to leave everything, to go where there is more need for me. Living to help others, to give joy or even only a smile, to help others, it's the most beautiful thing in the world. There is no doubt. And it does not cost anything. You cannot sell it, you cannot buy it, it's free. You can give it without expecting to be rewarded. This is the essence of a volunteer. But what pushed me to do all this? The smile of a child who plays thoughtlessly, the joy of a mother who can nurse a little one, the happiness of a father who can work and still believe in the future. Happiness thanks to my action. This is the reward that one can have. I'm happy and proud. I have chosen to face reality, although uncomfortable, and to react. I am proud to be a volunteer. Thank you.
Bravo, Christian. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm happy and proud to put my life at the service of others. How inspiring for all of us to hear that and to remind us why we answered that call of duty when we joined the UN system. Thank you very much. And also thank you, Gloria, for your beautiful words as well. The next reader we have on the list is Timothy Dance. Timothy, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Now, good morning, afternoon or evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My name is Timothy Dance and I'm a temp at the International Maritime Organisation in the UK. Been there for about 5 years. The poem I wrote it after reading through the collected works of one Robert Burns, so you could say he's the main inspiration for it. I did edit a little bit and add an extra verse, especially for this particular project. It's called Fear. Titanic lizards, tall and small, set up for cataclysmic fall. Mothers protect when offspring call, useless in plight. One rock create extinction fall, survival slight. Aye, devil, ye must have been bored, but thy entertainments are flawed. To instill thy fear, use your hoard. It went too far, so crown thyself as overlord. That's how ye are. The next was when it became too cold. Advance, O ice, glacier bold. A vice-like grip, its hold underground. Small steeds you watch them fold, chased by thy hound. Aye, devil, what more can you do? Thy playthings live in fear of you. Reapers busy, always, it's true, inevitable. Thou ply thy games, but still too few, not as liberal. Upon an entrance to thy lair, Vesuvius had shoulders bare, surrounded not by those who care, but for themselves. Ash is punishment, filled the air, not thou devils. Aye, devil, now use hearts, O men, twisting and turn in shapes we ken. A war you waged till all fall in. Chance be fine. Target a powerful beacon, some souls to mine. Two strong silent sentinels surprise when scurvy rats plan a demise. Scatter scurry shouts and cries, sirens are wailing. Retaliation, away it flies, trust is failing. Aye, devil, what's in thy next hand? Play thy cards, nay, we understand. But there we all be brothers band. You carry on, forever we shall cry on land. Now where ye gun? Throw a full year of woe, fire, fight, and flight forego. One virus refused to go. Response and research, all united, we'll show faith remains in church. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Timothy, and what a great topic to write about, like fear right now in this time. And right now we'll go to Don Mineth. Don, you have the floor. Sorry, is Dawn there from New York? Okay, that's okay. We'll move.
Well, perhaps we can move on to the next one, and then we'll give Dawn a chance. Maybe she's having some technical issues. Vicenza, are you on the call? Yes, you are. Yes, I see you. So it's my pleasure to invite you, Vicenza Lofino, to take the floor. And thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody, and good morning, because still afternoon, or because in Italy. I'm Vincenza Lofino. I'm Italian. I'm from Unocha, Somalia, but I'm telecommuting from Milan right now because of the pandemic situation, and I will be based in Nairobi, in Kenya. This poem is called Randagio. In English, is Stray, and it was written in May 2020. It reminds me the first part of 2020, particularly hard because of the first lockdown, first in Italy and then spread all around in the world. And it was particularly hard because of its mental, physical strains, for the isolation, for the frustration and the anger tensions. So for this reason, it's Stray. It seems like we are passing over slowly, but it requires time, it requires care. For this reason, I will read in Italian, and sorry for that, but you can find a translation in the book, in Saudi book. And I will read in original language, in Italian. Parole sciolte come cani randagi. Devi stare attento alla recinzione. C'è scritto stai alla larga in questo momento per la precisione. È un ammonimento. Sono le parole di un mendicante di attenzioni, alla ricerca, sempre alla ricerca di quiete e di serena ispirazione. Parole a briglia sciolta che passano veloci, che possono mordere o ferire, o possono avere gli occhi persi di solitudine. Richiedono cura, come le ferite che lecchi sulla tua zampa sinistra, le scoriazioni brucianti, quel che ti rimane di quel sinistro. Curami, ma non avvicinarti troppo, mi dici. Non allontanarti per abbandonarmi, salvami. Le tue parole, allora, come pensieri, vagano sciolti come cani sciolti, pensieri, randagi. Randagio è fragile colui che sopravvive a se stesso. Pericoloso può darsi se ci si avvicina mancando di cautela. Randagio è di strada ed è come ti sento, come chi sopravvive agli eventi che hanno avuto il sopravvento ed è ora trascinato da se stesso in balia dei suoi stessi venti. Ci vuole cura, ci vuole tempo. Thank you very much for the occasion, the opportunity. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Vicenza. I was getting chills, actually, and it's no wonder that Italian language lends itself so beautifully to so much beautiful words. So thank you very much for sharing. We are going to try to connect with Dawn one more time. Dawn Minot, are you on the call? Okay, I don't think so. All right, this happens. This is the virtual world. If we were all around and in the same room, we probably would not have some of these challenges. But I hope everybody's getting a chance to appreciate all of that. There's just something about, reading the poem in print and then hearing an author, and many people that I admire, many authors that I admire are unfortunately not on this earth anymore. So when I get a chance to hear a living author share his or her own deepest feeling, this is just so I don't have words to describe that. We do have more colleagues who could not be with us live in this event, but who have actually sent in their recordings. And Jack has done a masterful job of trying to compile some of that to just give you at least a bit of the flavor. So we also give them an opportunity and give them a voice to be part of with us today, one way or the other. So Jack, I'm going to turn it over to you, and I invite you to sit back and relax and watch the video. Over to you, Jack.
Thank you.
Greetings. I am Dr. Franklin Sewitsong-Wisi, a public health specialist. I was formerly an epidemiologist for United Nations OCHA in Cameroon for the COVID-19 response project. I want to say my poem titled The Undersung Health Issue, Mental Illness.
Hi everyone, I'm Vincenzo Rufino. I'm Italian from Milan. This is my house. I'm an information management officer for OCHA Somalia. I'm telecommuting, but I will be very soon in Nairobi where I am based. And I'm gonna read a poem by me. It's called Randagio, in English, Stray.
Hi, this is Umme Halima. I'm from UNICEF Kuna Field Office, Bangladesh. The message of my poem is that we are passing a very difficult time around the world. We lost our loved ones. In this crisis time, the only thing that can heal our mind and soul is to express our love to the one around us.
Hello everyone, my name is He Jun. I work for the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations. I live in Rome, Italy. Today, it's my pleasure to read a poem written by myself. The name is Children by the Sea.
I hope that you enjoy reading my poem that I have written for my daughter, hence the title, Little Girl. This poem is dedicated to Tante Vali, who was our light during the lockdown time in spring 2020 in Vienna, Austria.
What right do you have over me, mental health distress? I was having a conversation with my mental health, and it responded, ha ha ha!
In the contagious panic that crushes our guts, I try to remember your soothing words, which with great tenacity would silence my anxieties.
Countless nights, anonymous emotions, frequent floods, countless lonely ducks. Grown-up chicks sang new Mama desire to embrace them all. But let the birds fly, it's a new life.
The rusty chains slip away with miraculous ease, as though overly smeared with their own greedy grease.
Investing time where it belongs as part of personal reflection. With pen and paper under visibly bluer sky, I sat down and wrote myself a letter.
They are the visitors, will come and go. You are an ancient forest here, please know.
Exercise can make it active and alive. Always read and challenge it right. Let it relax and avoid frustration.
The silence is deafening. Where can I go?
I peer in and see what life is worth.
I, devil, what's in thy next hand? Play thy cards, may we understand.
Like a sonar buoy, I plumb the depths of gravity to retrieve from the abyss of grief a cloud of levity.
The girl by the bull, farmer brave, now lame. We used to wish that every day was the same.
Saved in my voicemail, his words, I love you.
I love you to the breath of the sun, the width of the earth,
through its hills and its plains.
Je me confie à mes souffrances. Elles se font écrire sur les pages de l'humanité, des récits de beauté, sans début et à ne plus finir.
Porte de la nuit jusqu'au soleil du midi, les mots seront les mêmes, cassés, brisés, à demi enterrés, gris comme tes cendres, sans présent, sans passé.
Vivere per aiutare gli altri, per regalare gioia o anche un sorriso. Aiutare è la cosa più bella del mondo, non c'è dubbio.
谁言美景为陈日？
Thank you, everyone. And thank you to all for sending in your videos. It has been such a joy to receive them in the past few weeks, and I hope you enjoyed watching them. We have a little bit of extra time, so I'm going to ask my colleague Daniela if she would like to read a poem.
Oh my goodness. Jack, my partner in crime in all of this, I cannot say no to you, but it is true that when we launched this idea and this vision of a book that we didn't even have one single submission in it, I said I will have the courage and submit one of my own if others take us up on the offer. So I have to be good to my word. And I will read the poem, which actually is in the compilation as well, and it is in English, so I'll just read it. I burned an ice cube today and watched it blaze into pieces. The flame created a puddle of ashes. I burned a snowman today and watched him fly towards heaven. Only 2 stone eyes fell on the ground. I set the ocean on fire and it's still burning like oil in an old lamp. Who says you can't burn water? Who says water doesn't burn? How come I have burn marks under my eyes? Thank you. Wow, I just, it does take courage. I speak from the bottom of my heart. It takes courage to open your heart, whether it's to a loved one or to a stranger or to sometimes to our own self. To show publicly our vulnerability takes an incredible amount of courage. I heard the word inspiration today probably 20 times, and ispirazione in Italian, and I just think this is really what this is about. It can be scary at times, and it is okay. It is okay not to feel okay all the time. I think we've been saying this message, but I think we've been actually putting it on display today. So thank you so much for that. We are traversing a difficult period in history. It's true. But what is poetry? What this initiative? Let's call it. I don't like to call it project because it makes it sound like work. But this gathering, what it showed us that individuals anywhere in the world that we share the same questions, the same feelings. The humanity has been asking some of these same questions for centuries. So what I saw today is that how diverse we are in our expression, how everybody took us up on any form, any style, any topic, but we felt the hearts and the souls poured into them. So diversity in our expression actually shows us how united we are in our humanity. And I just find that incredibly beautiful. Poetry unites in aches and dreams, shouts in silence, and whispers, screams. That's what I put in a poem from Marta Elena, because that's how I feel this is really a space where any feeling, and even that ... or that silence that we don't even know how to put in any language, we're able to capture it. And poetry accommodates all of that and accommodates each and every one of us. So I think what I really want to say is that sometimes we have this feeling that nobody's listening, that we are totally all alone, we can't figure things out. Well, I hope, if there's one hope that I have and my whole team has, is that you feel that we've heard your voice. We've named this Swahili, so that when we go into look at Umoja, which is one of our tools in the UN system, which is actually inspired by Swahili, that we also remember Sauti, that we remember that we each have a voice. So when we are next to a colleague that maybe is not expressing, but we feel that they're going through a difficult period, it's just that it's okay. I'm here. It's okay to be scared in all this world. It's okay to be overwhelmed, to have anxiety. It's also okay to be joyous. I mean, I think my prevailing feeling today actually is one of joy. And I thank COVID-19 for many silver linings that it brought to us. And it gives us this opportunity to, collectively pause and reflect and do one exhale together and just take all this in. It's a lot to process. It's a lot to put ourselves to the service of others, which we do day in and day out, whether we're teleworking or telecommuting or doing all sorts of combinations, and at the same time being full-time employees, being also part-time teachers, and taking care of our elderly and going through, virtual weddings and virtual funerals. And I think collectively we experience so many different things. And sometimes we need that moment to retrieve to ourselves. Sometimes we want to share. So I hope even those of you who don't read poetry or who don't write poetry, it's really not about how perfect it is, or does it rhyme or does it not. Journaling is a very effective tool to just put your thoughts down, no matter what they are, even just being grateful for what we have at the moment, or even what we are. Like somebody mentioned earlier, I wrote a letter to myself. I think that's very, very powerful. So we've heard your voices, dear colleagues. We really did. And when we send this compilation out in the world, many others will hear it. And thank you for that courage, and thank you for that sharing. Thank you, Marta Elena, for your incredible support and leadership. I really think when Therese said we would not be here without you, you're the one who's just spearheading this project, that mental health matters. And it matters when we're not feeling well. It matters when we are feeling well, because we want to sustain it. It matters. And for you to create this space for us to be able to raise awareness about this important topic through a variety of mediums. Some of you follow us on Instagram, on Twitter. We're doing various events. We're really doing what we can to just break the stigma around this topic, because we do have enough issues and enough difficulties right now. We don't want to have to deal with that stigma on top of everything. So you guys doing this and opening up goes a long way to say, hey, it's okay. I've gone through it, but guess what? I came out on the other end, and so can you. And if you need help, I'm here for you. So thank you very much. And thanks to the most amazing team in the universe. I've been in the UN for 20 years, and I am absolutely, talk about silver linings. One of the most beautiful thing is having the mental health and well-being team led by Therese, who is just an inspiration, who is a poem in herself, because she just makes space for everything and anything. And even for that, look, I'm tired tonight, can I get to it tomorrow? It's okay, because she wants the best out of you. And she gave me an opportunity to actually weave in poetry, which is my favorite language of the many that I speak, to actually allow that space, and then to end up thanking me for doing something where actually is the other way around. But when both people feel grateful that you're doing something right, and when all of you feel that you're part of something great, I think this is also beautiful. So just thanks to the team, thanks to everybody, and thank you for co-creating Sauti, because this really is a book of many authors in more ways than one. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much, Daniela, Jack, all of the speakers today. I don't have words, and I feel like everything has been said. I feel so blessed to be able to lead the work around mental health and work with such amazing people within our team and across the globe. And it just shows that we're all actually part of the same team. And I know when I started, people found it so hard to talk about mental health, and we now are at the point where we have a poetry book and people are talking about it. And I thank you all for your leadership in putting your words forward, and it truly makes a difference to the UN system and for other people to be able to voice them. So I cannot thank everybody enough. But without further ado, there is a couple of other things that we need to do, and I'm not sure, I have to confess, and I'm hoping I can show this amongst it all, but let me take a background off. There's too many comments, I can't take my background off. Oh, I don't know.
Try putting it in front of your face. Oh, that's not going to work either.
I was going to say, we're just in birth right now, so it takes a bit of time. Just breathe.
There we go. There we go.
So it is. I feel a bit cheeky. I have the one and only solid copy of this at the moment, but there are more coming. And I'm going to flick through a little bit, but what I would like to really do is we can't wait to get you copies of this. We will be releasing an ebook online, and for everybody who's come today, we would like to offer you a signed copy of the ebook. So please, we're going to put out the email address, which most of you will have in the chat box. Let us know if you would like a special short order signed copy, and we will send that to you in your inbox. We will be releasing it online for World Poetry Day, which I believe is Sunday. So we can't wait to do that. One of the things about this book is we've heard so many beautiful words today, and you'll see all of our background. So the book is not just beautiful from a word perspective, but it is beautiful from a visual perspective. And I'm about to introduce the designer of that. But before I do that, I would like you to see some of the pictures that are actually in the book. How beautiful is that? So I present to you today the amazing Ezra Gumrilka, who unfortunately has left the team, but she did all of these amazing pictures for this book, and I cannot, like, the poetry makes me cry and the pictures make me cry. It is just a piece of absolute beauty. I cannot thank you enough, Ezra. You are such a talented young woman, and I would like to give you the chance to say a few words. And I can't even tell everybody how absolutely amazing you are, because you are, but they can see it in the pictures today. So, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Therese. And I'd like to say a few words. When Jack first told me about this project, I had no idea about how many beautiful poems were going to get submitted and how fast it was going to be, but I just wanted to be a part of it. And now I want to say thanks to everyone who submitted their poems for allowing me to make illustrations that live next to their poetry. And I'd also like to say how awesome the mental health and well-being team is for making a project like this come alive. And that's pretty much it. With that, I'll give the floor back to you, Therese.
Therese, you're on mute.
Sorry, I'm unmuting and muting. My computer's having a bit of a moment as I try and put my background back on. Ezra, you are incredible. Jack, Daniela, I don't even have words for the amazing work that you've done, for the amazing talent that you both are, and the legacy that you leave with the work that you've done. To all of the authors, I cannot say enough about how incredible you all are. And it's so nice to actually put faces to all of the words that I've been reading over the past few months. And I thank you for putting your hearts and souls out there, for really making a difference, for sharing them online today. And I do hope as we move this forward, that you share with your colleagues, and it makes everybody realise that it's okay to talk about mental health. It's okay to share, and the more we do that, the more we're actually able to change our culture and make everybody realise it's okay not to be okay. It's also okay to be okay, but we can support each other through these times and into the future. So thank you. Please do put your please do send us your details if you would like to receive a signed copy of the book. It will be limited edition, so we do encourage you to do that. And I will just, Jack or Daniela, is there any final words you would like to say?
Just happy World Poetry Day, and this happens to be sadly my last day at the UN, so I'd like to just have a public thank you, and thank you Therese, thank you Daniela for holding the space for this project. I certainly didn't think when I came on board that I would be, on a poetry project. So I just thank them for, allowing me to tap into this, and thank you again to all the authors for the incredible work. And please keep writing, write every day, even if it's a few words. That's a little act of bravery on its own. So thank you so much, and please take care. And happy World Poetry Day.
Thank you, Jack. And Jack didn't know, but we knew when we interviewed him, when he started talking about poetry, there was an idea in the making. Daniela, is there anything else you would like to say briefly?
I think I've cried enough on this public event, so I think if I start now saying farewell to Jack, that's not going to really be going that way. So I'm just going to hold off on that. But just an amazing thank you. I think if I had to do a thank you at the Oscars, we will be here for another hour, so I'm not going to go to do that. But I do want to thank each and every person who you didn't even hear or see, who's been behind this so much. And I'm thinking of the staff unions. I'm thinking of Patricia and Leila and Mark and just so many, Cornelia in the ethics, in the ombudsman's office. I'm just thinking of so many people, and it would be unfair to just start dropping names. I'm just trying to say thank you to the whole UN system. I have 4 words in my title: human resources, and then UN common system. And it's the human and the common that are most important and most valuable to me. And today I felt like we are one UN. I cannot wait for us to share this. And I don't know if I can throw a bomb here now, Therese, but Sauti Volume 2, it's already brewing in my mind, because so many people reached out to say, I missed the opportunity, what can I do? So, being accepting and inclusive, I think, when we rest from this big project, and we take a breather and we share this one, I think we could probably envision doing something else, or maybe other forms of art, because art is therapeutic. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And obviously, final again, Ezra, It is so beautiful. We can't thank you enough. Thank you for everybody for spending their time with us today. We'll have the recording on our website, and I just want to send you all a big virtual hug and thank you. Online virtual hugs.
Bye.
Bye, and thank you again.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye. Bye. Have a great weekend.
You too. Oh, Gloria, that was so beautiful. Should we stop recording?
I think so.
I will work on that.